Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, no matter where you are in the world. This is Howie, and I'm here to help you win with money. In this week's episode of Back to School, why 62 years old could be the best time for you to claim your Social Security benefits. Here are some of the factors that you should consider. Do you plan on working? Are you planning on retiring early, or are you planning on working till you're 67 or 70? That matters. What's your health? Are you going to be in good health? Do you think you're going to have good health even a few years after you retire? Do you have a family history of family members dying early, or those that live much longer than the average person? Those matter. If you can predict with some certainty whether or not you're going to live a very long life, then there are some things that you have to think about. Some of the bigger things are, do you have other assets that you already saved? If you've done a good job in investing and saving, and you have other ways to make money and survive off of, that matters. Are you using this as a hedge? Social Security could be a hedge. Or maybe you have an annuity or life insurance policy that you already paid for 20 years ago. So these are some other things you have to think about. And the last one, and not least, is spousal benefits. Some people definitely take advantage of it by delaying it. They can draw two larger checks because of that. Now let me show you the next slide. And here is a very common way of looking at it. Social Security used to have this on their website also. They took it down because they said this is really not a helpful way to determine. If you drew Social Security early, the blue line, you can see how for the first, let's say, 8 years, you have now from 62 to about 70, you have pulled out maybe about $75,000 that you lived off of, or that they paid you. If you waited till 67, you can see the amount of money you collect is still less. There is a break-even point. Somewhere around 76 or so, 76 and a half years old is where you'll break even. And what break even means is the amount of money that you receive via your monthly checks. If you die before that point, then the blue line is the best choice. If you live past 76 and a half, then the red line will show that it would have been better choice from a purely math standpoint. And the same goes true with the green line. The cutoff point is right around here, somewhere around 80 years old to about 80 and a couple of months. And it's the same concept because you're getting fewer payments over your lifetime. You're starting, right? You're starting, if you do the math, there is a difference of years. That is a 8-year difference. So if you died somewhere around here, you drew less money or you got less money. So why does this matter? Most people never factor in stuff like they die a year or two after they retire. Most people don't factor in accidents or other things that cause a untimely death. So from that standpoint, what most people suggest is if you're going to take Social Security early, what that means is with all your other assets, you need to hedge against the long tail risk. What that means is if you live past 90. So if you live past 90, the blue line will always underperform over the lifetime. What that means is you need to have other assets that are still growing and generating money. And the longer you live, the more money those other assets will be worth. So this is why some people use an annuity, or they even have a life insurance plan that has like a PUA rider, which can still grow in death benefits as you age. And the longer you live, the more value. There's two things. You actually grow cash value, but you don't care about that. You're actually growing your death benefit each year you live. So if you have a strategy where you're hedging, then you can prevent something like this and factor out all the other risks. For me, what I'm most likely going to do is draw it early because I have a very small pension that's worth like $100 a month. But I'm going to use that now. $100 a month is not going to change anybody's life. But if I live to 100 years old, that thing is still going to pay me. So I have a pension that will pay me as long as you live. So what you want to do is, I also have a lot of stuff that I will have access to, or not. You're not forced to take it out until 70 and a half years old for RMD, for the required mandatory distribution. So those can grow tax free. I have a 401k plan, right? I have Raw. So there are ways for me to let my assets continue to grow. And so what I'm going to do is just pull out my money early and start drawing checks early. And then, like I said, I do have other things that will make money to handle what happened if I live further down this road. Because of the complexities behind this, you should always look at your situation and figure out what's best for you and your family. There are people now who become Social Security experts that help you determine this. Financial coaches can help you too, because they have a good view of what type of investment and what type of accounts that you have, and they can see what your withdrawal strategy will be like. Yeah. With that, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I go look at my playlist. There's a whole bunch of other videos that you can see. Don't forget, let's do this together. Let's do this $1 at a time. Have a profitable day. Bye bye.